Hey, 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 profit takers. It's Victoria here. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. Today's Thursday, and we had some very fantastic news today, right? We had some wonderful, beautiful trades. All right, so let's recap real quick on what I shared with the Pips on Fire Locals group. All right, are you guys ready? I know you are. Let's get to it. So I highlighted like 3 trades. There was a lot of trades that I took today. A lot of trades. Oh my gosh. Let me show you. Yeah, it was pretty fantastic today. Let me drag this over here, see if you can see it. Yeah, I took a lot of trades today. And when I do that, when the market is like pushing really well and the setups are just laying up for you, I mean, I can't help it. I don't know about you, but I can't help being greedy. Okay? It's like we wait all week for this to happen, right? So today we had a bit of news. So what happened today in the news? We had let's see, what did we have? I know I posted it in here. Okay, so today we had unemployment, which was beautiful for the trade, and I'll show you why. And then later on in the day, we had some more news on the euro, orange folder for the dollar. You know, nothing too crazy, but for whatever the case, these unemployment claims, which is weird because that was at 8:30, and 8:30 my time, okay, on the chart is about 15. No, that is this is based on Central Time. This right here. So 15:15 or 1500 on my chart is 7 o'clock in the morning, which is 8 o'clock New York. So that's pre-market, right? And the market was moving really nice for that. Okay. And if there are some other news going on, I don't know. But I posted this pretty early in the morning. But this was all I saw so far. I didn't go back and check to see if there's anything else outside of, this. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff with the FOMC and stuff like that. But that's probably for another day. So let's just go back into today's setups that were posted. Okay. All right. So CJ, it was 4 days after the peak high. We had a retest on H4. All right. So and I was seeing a W formation forming whenever I got to the charts this morning. So this means what price can either break out, right, and fail, act like it's going long, and then go in or it can go short, right? Continue on to the short, like breakout and short trade. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm kind of tired, y'all. I'm sorry. I am tired because I work out every day, and today, I worked pretty much all day. I didn't stop to take a nap in the middle of the day, and I know I need my naps, guys. Okay, but I am really tired right now. I wanted to go and run some errands, but I decided to take a nap later in the day to see if that will help me out so I can work out, because I'm about to work out. That's one thing though, there's no off season for me. Okay, I'm gonna work out if I can't absolutely work out, I'm not working out, but I'm working out every day. That's a story for another day on that, but I'm just letting you guys know I am all over the place right now, but I am tired. But I'm still working out. Okay, all right, so CJ, I was expecting this thing to give us a nice reversal like I was showing here. It was already, it was in accumulation. We had a little choppity chop. It was pulling back, doing its thing to go up. And I was just letting y'all know, hey, you can take it if you want. It's there, it's available for you. Or if you wanted to wait for it, to go short, then you can do that too. Okay. And guess what? It did both, guys. It did both. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Right? I love it when this happens, right? So let's do this real quick. This is the time, 1500, okay? That is 7 o'clock my time, Central Time. So that's when I was looking to get into this here market. I was like, okay, I might go ahead and take it short for a little bit. Take it long, but I knew not to hold the trade because it's definitely a short-term trade. And I knew that eventually this thing is going to drop, and it did just that. All right, so let me drop down to M15 because this will show you where the New York session is. So this time frame right here is the pre-market, okay? It's a pre-market, and so you can always count on taking your trades up until the daily highs or lows. That's usually where I will place my targets, and then I'll just leave it there, right? So, you know, sometimes I will move it. Like I'll move my TP a little bit, or maybe I might get a little anxious and take the trade off before it hits, you know, this little area here. But I just always have to remind myself, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know you're right. Be confident and just stick to the plan, right? And that's to take the trade until it hits the daily high or low. So you can have it set, you know, sometimes you may have to set it just a little bit underneath, right? Or whatever. But nonetheless, it always hits it, right? And guess what? You're going to use that daily high and low to enter this trade when it goes short. So it goes up, it starts to pull back, and now you can see it starting, and you don't know what's happening here. You just know it's pulling back. So you know now that you can wait for your entry, okay? If you're trading, you know, all in this New York session. You know, for me, you know, as you guys know, I do work. I do, my job is flexible, you know, so I'm at my computer and I have my screens. I have everything available here, you know, for me to watch the charts and see what price action is doing. But I typically want to be able to be done with the trade pretty early in the morning, preferably, you know, by 11 Eastern time. By noon, I want to be done, because at that time, guys, I'm having lunch. Like, I'm making my lunch here. And if you guys have seen my plates, guys, I mean, man, you guys, my mom was like, ooh, you eat good. I said, I know. So I like to finish all my meals, like all my meals of the day. I like to finish them by noon. So by the time noon comes, noon actually Eastern, so 11 o'clock my time, if I get pressed and don't get a chance to make my food before then, if I'm eating noon, you know, Central Time, that's fine too. But I like to get all my meals in. And if I am snacking after that, yeah, I try to stick with the 2 o'clock window. Is that perfect all the time? No. But for the most of the time, 2 o'clock, I'm not snacking anymore. And then I am working out about 6:30, 7 o'clock, sometimes 7:30 at the latest, and then take my shake and then I go to sleep, and then the day starts over, right? So I don't want to be trading around that time. I'm cooking. I want to have everything done. But sometimes, like today, you know, the market was just, it's just beautiful. So I had already had this set for the short. I already had CJ set to take this thing short. And I also posted this in the chart here, in the group here. And if you guys can see, CJ is always trading within this area. This is a range that CJ always trades in. I've had this set in here for weeks. I can't even tell you. And now this dog is getting, hold on, y'all. I don't know, this dog, she sees something out there. Okay, let me just, hold on. All right, I'm making this video longer than what it needs to be on this pair because I'm so excited. Stormy, come on now. She's gonna just talk, so I hope that doesn't bother y'all. For those of you who have pets, you understand. All right, so CJ worked out beautifully. You know, I shared here that I was looking, you can go short, you can go long. The W formation was in play. It was looking good, and I was just waiting for it to, you know, it's set up beautifully for me to go and take it long and to take it short. So anytime I see that second leg W happening, right, I don't, I'll just take it, like I said, to the high or the low from the previous day, because, you know, I don't know if it's going to, blow out, right, and take out the previous day's high or low. I don't know, right? Because this could have broke out and easily, you know what I mean? It could have did this breakout right here like it did, and it dropped really quickly, you know, news, I'm sure. And then tomorrow sometimes it happens in that same day where it breaks out and then it fails, right? Or then it breaks out and has a continuation. So this one did do the breakout, and it looks like it's doing a continuation, and it traded through the range that I was expecting it to trade through, because I've had it highlighted for a long time, right? So I already knew once I looked at that, I was like, yeah. So I had set my pending order within these brackets here, and it hit it, and took my TP as well. So I was very happy with that trade. Okay. All right. So, and then here I posted in here, I took the reversal. I got in early because I was busy doing something. I was making my breakfast or something. And I was planning on getting in here at this time at 15:15. That was my plan. I was like, I'm going to come in here and get in. And whatever the case, I was in the kitchen, guys. I missed that entry. I really wanted to be in pretty early. And then I ended up just entering here, and then I just held on to it until it started to pull back. And then I went back in, and of course, I had already set it for going to the short trade. So I was pretty much just getting in there for a little bit of that long trade, because when I see a pattern, guys, I can't help myself. Okay, I just can't help myself. All right. Okay, so now let's look at the CAD, the pound CAD. Again, it's bearish. Again, we're pulling back. And it's the third day reversal. I'm seeing the formations. I'm expecting a drop. Let's look at what it was looking like earlier. All right, look at that. Now, I'm going to confess something to y'all. I'm going to confess something to y'all, guys. I saw that thing. I was like, okay, this thing is falling. Look at all this. Look at all this. It has to, this imbalance, right? You know, it has to fall. So I set my target. I had it really tight. At that high. And then I was like, man, this thing is still, you know, acting like it's not really ready. Did I enter it too soon? Right? That was another thing. Because sometimes I'm like, and then this one wasn't at the 15:15 mark. I had entered this, you know, earlier than that, probably a whole hour earlier. And it was just messing around. So let me get to this pair right here. Okay. So it was messing around, guys. And again, you know, here's where I fell into my own mind, right? I didn't want to do that, but I did. Let's see. There's 1500. Okay. So as you can see, I entered in here. It was early. It was like around this area here, probably around this wick is when I entered, and it was way too early. And then I was like, man, I entered it short, and I was like, man, this thing is taking too long, right? And sometimes the pound CAD can push up a little bit more and take out the highs, but then it's just wicking, right? It could just continue to wick and wick. So it wicked for like, let's see, that was 10:30, okay, 11, 11:30, 12, right? It was wicking forever. And I was like, man, I think I just took this thing way too soon. So I got out of the trade, and I was like, I'll just come back, right? I'll just wait for it at that 1500 mark. And then when I got to the 1500 mark, that's when it was ready, right? And I ended up taking this thing short. All right. And again, it's always a safe play to take it all the way to the daily highs and lows as your target, right? It's a beautiful use market structure, right? You can use this market structure right here and take your profits from there, or you can use this market structure down here and take it here, okay? And the lovely thing about taking it here as well, it is the low of the week from Asia. See this black line, that's Asia's low. And then, you know, I don't know when this indicator showed 180R, because it definitely wasn't showing that earlier, because it's a little delayed, right? So that's why I don't really rely on the indicators, too much, because it changes with the price. If price, does a volatile move, and then it changes the direction because it took out the high or the low, then the indicator has to adjust to that. And it adjusts in real time, but it's not like, straight away, you know what I mean? So, but it does adjust. Okay. It does adjust. So you had your opportunities to take your profits at any one of these points, as well as the daily. The blue tracer is what it's called. For those of you who are big on BTTM, paying homage to Steve Morrow, this is the blue tracer. Okay. That's what he calls it. All right. Let me delete these lines here. So beautiful trade. Posted in the group. Can't be mad at that. All right. So what was the other one? It was another euro. It was a euro one, wasn't it? EA. Now I was looking at this early, and I don't know about you, but I see this here. Stop hunt. That to me is a sign that we are going short. Okay. So. And it was already a 180R with a retest. So I was like, okay, if this is going to pull back and then give us the opportunity, then, I'm going to go ahead and take it short if that's what's going to happen, because that's usually what I'm expecting. Okay. Day after the peak, retest to the high on H4. We're cooking after it finishes a pullback. If price takes pause. If price takes out the high, we need to change our minds. Okay. Don't ever forget that, because that can happen. Okay. Don't ever forget that. So let's go see what EA ended up doing for us. I think this is it. Wait for it. All right. All right. So let's see. What does my favorite time say? This one, ranged way too much. Okay, 1500 time worked out beautifully, right? I waited for this thing, and it hit the drop just when I needed it to. I started to hold on to it because I was expecting it to be a beautiful drop, but it didn't continue going. It's just started, ranging. Ugh, I can't stand it when that happens. But it is what it is. Sometimes you got to manage yourself out of the trade. And, that's what we did. Okay. I'm looking at M30 now. But anyway, it was a good trade. It did what I needed to do. It went back to the high and it dropped. Okay. Now this one, if you notice it was in the range inside, right? This is like inside of the range, or, I forgot what Stacy Burke has a name for this. I don't know what it is, but if you're a Stacy Burke fan, you can drop it in the comments. So I had to wait for this one because it started to pull back. It got the little reversal dot here. It didn't hit the daily highs or anything or the lows. It was just within the structure, inside of this price, right? So this one, when it finally started to pull back, I had to come in here and just kind of eyeball it, right? I just came in here to eyeball this thing. And, I was expecting it to do more than that, but what else can you say? I mean, this was a decent trade, right? At 15.15, it had, 50 pips right there. And you had a total of 996 pips total. Okay. So, still fantastic trade. So once this thing again started to pull back, sometimes it does. The market opens, it's going to pull back. I was expecting it to give me another drop, but it didn't. So I went ahead and just took my profits where they were. And again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So it wasn't as clear. I mean, it didn't continue to drop like the other ones, even though there was news on the euro dollar, like, the other ones, like the US dollar. But this one just continued to range, was a range bound trade, which is fine. So those are the 3 trades, guys, that I posted in the group early this morning, and I shared with all the supporters. And if you want to become a supporter, guys, we are more than welcome to do that. All right. I've been doing this, posting this stuff in here for a while, and now, doing these recap videos. Not only is it helpful for me, but I hope it's helpful for you all too, because it's a part of my journaling. It's a part of me going back and taking note of the trades that I made and seeing where they played out or maybe they didn't play out. So far this week, they've been playing out. I mean, most of these trades that I post in here do play out, but I am not special. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the market does what I need it to do and sometimes it doesn't. And what I want to do here is put in my time to watch price action, to identify these little nuggets of price action of candles, right? To see when I need to get in and get out. But for the most part, I love to pattern trade. I love to count from the days of the peak and the retest, of course, those are the best. And, you know, the 3 days, right? Because you can never go wrong with that. So with that, guys, I am all set. I hope you guys had a wonderful trade day and we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow. Ciao for now.